All right, guys, here we're going to talk about Season 5, Episode 2 of The Twilight Zone.
It's the boxing episode. It's the real Steel.
This, and literally and figuratively, because the man's name is Steel.
I know.
This may be my least favorite episode ever.
You're such a bad person.
Because it's not even there's no twist. The episode ends and you're like, what? Like,
the ending is not good. No.
The ending is so bad that it made me like, I was angry. I was like, how did this get by the writers? How did Rod let this happen? Like, you think there's going to be something like, the twist should have been like, and he stepped in and he fought that robot to a draw, or he won, or something happened, or like, even we went to give him the money, he said that show was terrible, and he sees the man's beaten face, he goes, wait a minute, was that you? Did you fight the blah blah? Oh my God. And it starts a new sport or some crazy thing happens. I don't something had to happen. There had to be some twist. It was just a broken man and it ends. His dreams having not lived out, like nothing.
It did not have a twist.
No.
Definitely not. But I like the commentary on the human nature or whatever that it tried to do, and Rod's thing of like I think that it was sort of like lame or whatever, what he tried to do and say about it. But I thought that the boxing robots were like terrifying. And
I loved the look of the robot. I thought there was some interesting editing here, because you obviously the man couldn't see who was wearing that thing, so it would be like the punch, then the face, receiving hit.
But that's so, I think that helped it so much, because he was so, like, terrifying and, like, not whatever. When he was, like, and just doing his arms or whatever, I was like, oh, no. And, like, the minute the match is over, they, like, rush over, like, and, like, touch his torso, and he just, like, goes back to, like, normal and walks off. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's terrifying or whatever. And I like the idea of those two desperate men and, like, getting in there and going, like, this is a horrible idea. He's like, we got to do it, right? And they get, like, screwed over, and it's this, like hard, horrible thing or whatever.
Yeah, well, he should have been killed after the first punch, really,
immediately
because
murdered by a robot.
A punch that a robot would recognize as a punch would shatter a human being.
Yeah, it's asking a lot of you. They say like he actually says like, well, the robots sweat and bleed like humans, so it should work. And I'm like, wait, what? What's going on? He has springs in him. So like, it's asking a lot for you to like buy into all that stuff. Yeah. And they're trying to make this into a thing. Like, isn't it grotesque how the people in the ring yell like tear him apart? And I'm like, it is not grotesque at all. You're trying for this thing about human nature that's like not good.
I thought that the makeup they applied to the manager, the owner, or whatever, made him look like robotic in Twilight Zone sense anyway. Like he had that feel. But the eyes are such a tell that shouldn't anybody who'd be like, well, I haven't seen a B2 in a long time. Did they get worse as time went on? Because your eyes look exactly like a human's eyes, and the robot model from the future, and what I actually saw, your B2, they don't have those eyes.
Exactly. So they played up a lot of like, maybe he doesn't watch the bouts and maybe this and maybe that. It was a big like artifice around trying to get him in the ring and get him doing his thing. But I like the robot boxers. That was like burned into my head from like a kid, and I like these desperate guys enough that I'm cool with the episode, even though
the boxers
it did not have a twist.
Were very cool. I liked the movement of it, and yes, it was very creepy. And I think I would have much preferred a thing where like like right around the time when the spring broke and his arm fell short. Yeah. Maybe instead he murders him, or something happens, or like there's like a Frosty the Snowman type of scenario is more like what I would have expected, where it's like, oh, this B2, but he's winning somehow, he's doing it like the actual like an actual Real Steel style.
Well, so I did not watch Real Steel.
Real Steel had a similar thing. You had a retired training bot set to shadow mode, and what's his name? Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman is in the corner boxing, and the robot's just copying his moves and punching the other guy.
Oh, so he's like doing the boxing.
Yeah.
And so like
only in the end though.
So the human like heart of boxing beats the robot through the proxy robot.
And there's like there were no weight like this. They were clearly heavyweights.
Okay.
What they stated there are still weight classes. In Real Steel, the other robot's like much bigger than him. It doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be possible. I thought it was a little weird when he's rolling around on like the roller skates.
Yeah.
It's a heavyweight robot.
Yeah.
And they're moving around like it's nothing. And when it was wrapped up, it was clearly just like a dummy. It was too skinny to be the actual thing. Yeah.
But that was a weird thing. That was a weird thing. And the whole thing about like, I like that opening of them wheeling this hooded figure down the road, because I didn't know that it was the boxing episode yet. Mm-hmm. And once I saw them, like, oh, it's the boxing episode. But so much of this was like, I figured you would hate this episode because you'd be like, this would never actually happen. You wouldn't have robots fighting.
My
or whatever.
only issue is no. I think you will have robots fighting eventually.
Yeah?
We had Robot Wars was like a hit TV show for a minute,
Like BattleBots or something.
that type of stuff. And
Yeah,
I think eventually
I don't
you
feel
will
like that caught
get to
on
a
enough.
point.
Yeah.
I think once robotics are cheap enough, things will happen. We had that
guess.
war against Japan with our 2 mechs. That was like the worst thing ever.
Yeah,
Did
but
you see that?
it's all the worst thing ever, though.
But again, that's because robots aren't real yet.
Yeah,
like, we
like-
don't have robots.
I don't know if people are gonna like robots. Like here, they even have to make the robots look like people enough so they can like identify with them.
I
or
think that
whatever.
was solely to be able to slide this episode through.
Yeah,
I think
like who's gonna care about a bunch of robots wearing Jets and whatever jerseys, running around, smashing into each other?
I think people will watch that.
Not Middle America.
The issue, I think they will. The issue I have is strictly that the point A to point B doesn't feel like a Twilight Zone episode to me.
No, yeah, they were totally hoping that the creepiness of the boxers would be the Twilight Zone part of it enough.
Yeah, it
and
didn't have
honestly,
that it just
like
ends. It just fizzles out.
No, I do not like the ending, but it still works for me for that reason because of like the like creepy future boxing thing. But I think that they're not accomplishing what they're trying to accomplish with that whole, because like literally like Rod Serling's narration and the people in the like in the ring, you're supposed to be like, well, they're yelling, tear them apart, get that piece of junk out of here because they think they're robots.
Yeah.
But wait a minute, people yell at like human athletes like that today. Oh no, humans are like monsters, right? But like
No, and we are.
It does.
But I need something. I need to end on a high note or something.
That's not of the same caliber as some of the other like dark, thoughts about humanity here or whatever, right? And again, I like the desperation, but that's just its own little thing, right? So
Yeah.
I'm still net positive on it, but I do agree that the ending is like bad.
I think if somehow he would have won, which is ridiculous, yes, but if somehow
Sure.
he would have won and then you would have got some sort of a gladiator speech from him, like, are you not entertained? Like, that's a person. Oh my God, he beat
Oh
up
my
a B7? This is ridiculous. Like, something.
So like in like
And that's dumb too.
Yeah.
I can't tell you what would be better, but there's just something at the core of this that is not good for me.
in a movie where you had enough time to really get into, like, is this right or wrong? Like, what is this about this? Why is the law like this? Should it be like that? I used to box. This is like a new law. All this weird stuff. You could have worked in, like, a theme that could have come out of the match or whatever, right? But,
I
like,
definitely
they didn't have,
cheered
like,
for a
time to do
second
that.
when he got into the mat. I was like, yeah, kill that robot.
Get him, boy!
But you got to think, this dude has not boxed in, what'd they say, 23 years or
yeah.
something. And that seems like he may have been old for a boxer then. And now he's much older.
Let's talk about this guy. This guy is Lee Marvin.
This guy is Lee Marvin, yes.
Put in a clip from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 where Brad Dourif is at the dinner table and he's like, you don't know Lee Marvin, paint your wagon, Lee Marvin. You don't know who Lee Marvin is? You will not put in that clip.
Assume that clip is not going
You don't need the clip because I just did it. No, Lee. I had to Google his name, but the minute I saw his face, I knew who this guy was. He was like an old timey actor or whatever. I probably watching stuff with Grandma or something like that.
Yeah, he
This
looked like
guy's
he was a
face,
guy
I
that
like,
was on an
"This is a
episode of
guy."
Gunsmoke or something.
Yeah, he was like a cowboy actor, I think, back in the day. And he has that like voice, that like gravitas when he's like doing the stuff or whatever. That's part of what I come to these old Twilight Zones black and white things for, is for that old timey like acting thing or whatever.
When it was
So, like,
actually acting
you're
and people were good, one-taking
Yeah.
things, professional, great
Right.
monologues.
So
yeah.
I liked both of those characters, like the mechanic who's like, I tell you it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work, I tell you, like that guy, and then this guy, like it's gonna work and you're gonna make it work, see? And like grabbing him, like I like both of those.
I
like,
thought both of the
archetypes or whatever.
actors were good, but I was
Yeah.
like, this guy's a horrible dick. This guy's just telling you how it is, and you're
Yeah.
just shitting down his neck. And then
No,
at
no,
the
no.
end, he's
Definitely
like,
not good
yeah.
people.
He's like, yeah, Steele, we'll do whatever you need. I can't believe you survived. You still might die. Well,
Yeah, we should probably rush you to the hospital and spend all this money on your kidneys.
Yeah.
because you're dead. No, I know. Yeah. No, it was a whole thing, but like, yes, they're like not good people, but I like the performances.
Oh,
of
yeah,
them
great
doing it.
performance.
And you have to take that with like a grain of like this is of its time or whatever too. So whatever. Yeah.
Where's the owner? He's in the crowd.
He's in the crowd. Yeah, there's so much you have to like. You have to like. if we ever do have robots fighting, they're not going to be able to get from backstage to the ring to backstage again without something happening that wouldn't work if you were a human, right? Like a big arm would come and pick you up through like slots that you have to be picked up.
Assuming
like it would be crazy.
You were still able to walk. Like I think the robot would just walk itself back.
Exactly.
But I think in all likelihood of robot boxing, one person's not walking out. So
No,
yes,
and
it would be just a magnet would just take you out of the thing and dump you in the trash.
A big backhoe or something would just scoop your parts up and throw you into a bin or whatever to be collected later by your owner. These things happen in like fiction sometimes, where someone's hiding amongst the like supernatural people, or the magic people, the mutants, whatever, and like they don't have powers. And I'm like, I don't think that would really work just because of how shitty people are to each other. So someone would like jokingly do something to the robot that would be fine for the robot, but really bad for a human, and you'd be like dead or something like that. But again, I gloss
like
over all
his
this.
name into its back.
Yeah, right. Like as part of the thing or something like that, right? Like the winner gets one of the loser's eyes or something, some horrible stupid. Like, oh my god, right? That would like not jive. If
somebody would do something foolish that would be fine. The robot, like have a robot hit it in the face.
Yes, literally. Those punches, when he was landing some punches, and the guy was just like no selling it like so hard as a robot would do.
Yeah.
And then when he gets punched, he's like crumpling to the ground and stuff.
Because think about that.
This
it's
is
like,
so
okay,
obvious. Yeah.
One of these people is an anvil, and you're hitting him with your fist
like a kitten.
The other person is a human, and you're hitting him with an anvil.
I know.
Like,
exactly, which is totally how it should work. But I'm shocked that the audience was just like, "Yeah, see that beat to his junk? He's crying." Like,
yeah,
like what?
Oh, he's vomiting from pain.
Look at him. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's vomiting.
Even more realistic than I thought.
Oh yeah.
No, I did not like this episode, as I've stated earlier.
I liked for the reasons I liked, but I agree with you on all the things you didn't like about it. So, like, we're on the same page or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's this episode of Twilight Zone. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.